And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's not been a good weekend for Keir Starmer at all if he's been tuning in and watching television. If he tuned into the darts, he would have heard a really catchy song about himself, and if he tuned into the Royal Variety, well, he would have heard himself be booed and mocked for all to see. Now, it's no surprises that Keir Starmer is vastly unpopular. As we know, we can already see the polls. He's historically the worst Prime Minister, or statistically the worst Prime Minister in terms of popularity ever in history, and Labour are currently polling at a historic 100-year low. So it comes as no surprise, but I do find it very refreshing to see these sort of events happening and the people making their feelings clear to sort of Keir Starmer. Now, again, what you would see, taking the two case studies, is the darts is probably, would you say, maybe I'm being stereotypical here, working class, would you say darts is? And the Royal Variety, would you say that's a bit more middle class? Again, I'm not sort of stereotyping, but as you can see, his dislike is across the spectrum. And in today's video, we are going to be watching and reacting to this whilst also going over some of the latest news from across the country. But as always, guys, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. Just a quick one, guys, before we get into today's video, we have released our brand new t-shirts. Do shop the collection by going down into the link in the description or heading over to BritishStan.com. Thank you, and let's get into the video. First things first, guys, we're going to get into the darts one in a second, and I'm going to show you the video live because guess what? Sky Sports were forced to censor the crowd at the World Darts Championship after they made an X-rated chant about Keir Starmer. The tournament at Ali Pali had its latest edition of action on Friday night with Nathan Aspinall, the headliner. The crowd was in typically loud voice throughout the arrowed action at the Oosh. I hate the way that these kind of articles are read. Sounds really cringy. But one moment saw Sky Sports intervene in order to drown out the fans' X-rated chant aimed at the Prime Minister. Fans were singing Keir Starmer is a wanker, which we're going to get into in a second, to the tune of the White Stripes cult favourite Seven Nation Army. However, it became clear that the broadcaster had used an effects button in order to drown them out. This just goes to show that they're trying to silence the people's sort of opinions on the Prime Minister. So he's not only trying to do it on the Online Safety Act, but also trying to do it at sports as well. So yeah, let's have a watch of the video here of it actually live so you can actually hear just how loud it was. So yeah, that's a lot of people there. But as stated, guys, it was also at the Royal Variety where he was being mocked as well. He was booed at the Royal Variety performance. He was met with loud boos the moment his name was mentioned at the Royal Variety performance last night, and also the act was in fact mocking him as well.
And Sir Keir Starmer.
Thank you. It's so lovely to be here. And I've actually developed a brilliant strategy for surviving the round table by making sure that no one will vote for me ever again. It's called being Keir Starmer. I have a theory, actually, about who wants to get rid of me. And I've narrowed it down to everyone in Britain.
It's mad when you're literally the butt of the joke. This, I'm sure, the Royal Variety performance is where the royal family attend, and he's literally the butt of the jokes. The whole crowd booing him as well, and that's been echoed across the darts as well as nightclubs as well. As we get into the Christmas spirit, people, of course, chanting Keir Starmer's a wanker. It's becoming a very, very catchy tune, and everybody, of course, is again just joying and united in how bad of a Prime Minister this guy actually is. Now, talking about just how bad he is, Labour have now branded critics of immigration as a risk to Britain. We've been speaking a lot about the Online Safety Act over the last couple of days, and now Labour's new head of Equality and Human Rights Commission has declared that anyone raising concerns about migration poses a risk to the country. So now questioning mass migration makes you an enemy of the state. Let's have a watch of this.
The new head of Britain's equalities watchdog, who was chosen by Labour insiders, has said anyone who raises concerns about migration is a risk to Britain.
Yeah, she sounds nice, doesn't she? She's Dr. Mary-Ann Stevenson, and she is also a big supporter of the European Convention on Human Rights. Now, her intervention is already drawing sharp criticism from parties like Reform UK. What are we going to say about them? Well, let's go to political commentator Suzanne Evans on all of this. And I'm just pointing out what this lady is all about. And what is her problem? How can she be in a neutral role, this Dr. Mary-Ann Stevenson, when she's basically saying, if you don't agree with me, you're on the naughty step?
Well, you say it's a neutral role, but let's not forget how this role comes to be. It's one that's appointed by the Prime Minister. So Sir Keir Starmer himself has appointed her to this position. And she does have a long history of left-wing politics. She's been a member of the Fawcett Society, which is very much a left-wing institution. And that's the sort of person she is. So on the one hand, we have Sir Keir Starmer talking daily about the boats being a problem, about smash the gangs, which he has previously criticised for being the wrong approach. And now here she is in this position. So once again, we have this sort of two-tier Keir ideology, don't we? On the one hand, he says one thing, and then on the other, his actions seem to suggest that he actually thinks something very, very different. One thing I might want to say in favour of Dr. Mary-Ann Stevenson is that she's been criticised by the gay, lesbian, bisexual magazine Pink News for being supportive of organisations like the LGB Alliance, which has spoken out against the fact that trans people are said to be allowed to go into women's changing rooms and so on and so forth. She said that she doesn't think this is the right approach. So on that sense, perhaps she's out of kilter with some thinking. But certainly on migration, I think people are going to be absolutely astonished at what she said, as in this her first announcement since she got that appointment from the Prime Minister. Because I think we can all see that a lot of us are very frightened about immigration and the way in which it's going. And to say that we're a danger to Britain as a result of that, I think is going to upset and alienate a huge amount of people.
I think a huge amount of people. I think a lot of people watching this, and whether they're right or whether they're wrong, they are upset by immigration, and they're justly upset by immigration. And I think that Dr. Mary-Ann has got to get that through her thick head, basically, has she not, Suzanne?
I think the fact is, we turn on the news and every day now there is a story about a crime that has been committed by a so-called asylum seeker or some kind of migrant. And it's not wrong to be afraid about that. It's not wrong to feel that women and girls in particular are at a threat from men who come from cultures which quite clearly don't have the equality laws that we have, don't have the sex discrimination laws that we have, come from cultures who are, well, let's just put it mildly, not exactly accepting of the role of women and children, and they don't have the same kind of cultural views about them as we do. So it's certainly not wrong to be cautious about that. It's certainly not wrong to highlight it. It's certainly not wrong to point out the danger that undocumented young men coming to Britain on boats pose to women and girls. And many of us, I think any sensible, reasonable, right-thinking person recognises that danger. So I think that we're going to be gearing up for a little bit of a fight, maybe, with Dr. Mary-Ann Stevenson over the next few weeks and months as she settles into her role. It'd be very interesting to see what she has to say next. Who else is she going to alienate? Because ultimately, this is a position, any quango really in Britain, is one where you want to take the people with you. And by making this statement and coming out so forcefully against something that is a major concern for the majority, let's be clear about that, the majority of people in this country, I'm not exactly sure she set herself off on the right foot.
Well, that's clear and obvious to see. Let's be perfectly honest. I mean, look. I mean, they're not two strangers to, of course, alienating British people and majority of British people. If you're looking at the polls with regard to immigration, so where does Keir Starmer actually stand? Well, that's the reason why he gets booed constantly at these events. So, ladies and gentlemen, do let me know your thoughts on this down there in the comment section below, and don't forget to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more.